Wells takes the mound, riding the hottest streak of his career as he's rattled off 5 consecutive wins. He'll try to slow down the mighty Brew Crew. It's game 2 next. Always a great photo opportunity in front of the iconic Wrigley Field marquee, and it's Bob Brenly's favorite night of the year as the first 9,999 fans and one Cubs broadcaster get a Cubs floppy hat. Believe it or not, final night home game of the season. Cubs winning 5-2 last night as they host the Milwaukee Brewers in the middle game of this series. You got your hat?
Yes, I do.
He's got it. Bob Brenly and Len Casper with you. Nice game for the Cubs last night. They were carried offensively by their catcher, Giovanni Soto.
You know what a big fan I am of tangible goals, Len, and what has been largely a disappointing season for Giovanni Soto has a chance to turn out really well. 17 home runs on the season. 20 would be a realistic goal over the last week of the season, and boy, did he put on a show last night.
He has hit 2 homers in a game 3 times in his career. They've all been against the Brewers. He has 15 career blasts against Milwaukee, and that's the most he has against any team.
Well, he's glad we're playing the Brewers again tonight and tomorrow, isn't he?
Yes, he is. Sean Markham will get the start for the Brewers. He has struggled a bit lately, but mostly at home. He's been a lot better on the road.
Yeah, he's been quite the road warrior for the Brewers this year. He has lost 4 of his last 5 decisions, maybe showing some signs of running out of gas a little bit. We know he loves to feature that straight changeup.
And Randy Wells kind of getting back to the form he showed a couple of years ago in a very strong rookie season. He's won his last 5 decisions.
Yeah, and over his last 9 starts, 5 wins, 4 no decisions. Could have very easily won 2 of those no decisions as well. He's throwing the ball really well.
And with the Brewers losing and the Cardinals winning last night, Milwaukee's magic number to clinch their division stays at 4. So the Cubs look to continue to have some fun against the division leaders. They've beaten Milwaukee 4 of 5 here at Wrigley Field.
Your Chicago area and Northwest Indiana Lexus dealer, who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois. 75 years being right here in Illinois means no one's closer to your wellness. Experience wellness everywhere. Subway. Every day at Subway, choose from many delicious regular footlong subs for just $5. Subway. Eat fresh. Honda. Visit your local Honda dealer today or go to shophonda.com and find great values on a new Honda. AT&T U-verse. Find out more of what's possible at att.com. AT&T. Rethink possible. And by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com.
Welcome back to beautiful Wrigley Field on another gorgeous night. The Cubs, for the 8th consecutive season, will go over 3 million in attendance. And great to have some of the stars from the Cubs minor league system honored before the game. That was Jay Jackson. The Cubs announcing their first class of minor league community service winners. You see Jackson, the Iowa recipient, Nate Sampson at Tennessee, Justin Bohr at Daytona, and Austin Kirk with the Peoria Chiefs. They also named their minor league players of the year. Brian LaHare, who's in the Cubs lineup tonight, the player of the year, and pitcher Jeff Beliveau is the Cubs minor league pitcher of the season.
And congratulations to all those young men. I think it's a good idea in the Community Service Award for minor league players. They've made hospital visits, school visits, helped run clinics in the various cities where the affiliates are located. Establish those good habits early.
Let's get the Brewers Southwest starting lineup. Their offense stymied by Casey Coleman and company last night. 2 runs on 6 hits after a huge weekend in Cincinnati. Hart, Morgan, Braun, Fielder, Weeks, McGee. No changes there. Untitled Chapter will be the shortstop. Jonathan Lucroy the catcher, and Sean Markham the pitcher.
Who's playing short?
Untitled Chapter.
Very nice. Take a look at the Cubs defensively. Brought to you by Degree. Soriano, Bird, and LaHare across the outfield, left to right. Ramirez and Castro on the left side of the infield. Barney and Pena on the right side. Last night's hero Giovanni Soto behind home plate, and he'll be receiving pitches from right-hander Randy Wells.
Looking for his 8th win of the year. Second to last start for Wells. And he starts Corey Hart with ball 1 on a sinker that's low. High in the air out toward LaHare in right. 2 pitches, 1 out.
Should point out, Len, the wind is blowing rather briskly from right to left, kind of out to left field. Should help the right-handed pull hitters. And with the wind pushing in from right field, should knock down balls hit to right.
So the umpire's Jerry Meals behind the plate. And center fielder NYJER Morgan takes a fastball outside. 69 degrees. And as Bob mentioned, breezy. Morgan 6 for 10 against Wells. And the guy on deck, Ryan Braun, 10 for 24. Back-to-back in the order, and some big numbers against Randy Wells. Morgan showing bunt, but was going to take that pitch all the way. It's 3-0. Braun still leading the National League in hitting, even though he went 0 for 4 last night. And he'll hit next. And there's a walk. And others honored tonight. The Cubs Employee of the Year, Usher Lenore Pressel, Wrigley Field Outstanding Employee of the Year. Throw out a first pitch to Steve Clevenger. Braun takes a strike. Average went down from 336 to 333, but he's still leading the league. A couple of points over Jose Reyes.
You know, something's got to give here tonight, Len. We talked about Sean Markham and how good he's been on the road this year for the Brewers, and Randy Wells has been real comfortable here at the friendly confines. In his last 4 games, our Lexus pursuing starting pitcher is 3-0 with an ERA just over 3.5.
Wells has a sign from Soto. Braun fouls it back. Keep an eye on those other big games tonight. Cardinals are back home. They're playing the Mets. The Braves are in Florida again, and they have a 3-0 lead in the bottom of the third.
Oh, and in a related story, the home run ball off the bat of Mike Stanton just landed.
Yeah, that was a moonshot.
Ooh.
Braun lost his footing a little bit, that back foot, as he was able to stay alive.
We showed you those numbers for Ryan Braun against Randy Wells in their respective careers. And when you have lopsided numbers like that, you go back and you look at the videotape, you review past games. Was it a case that you missed your spot, didn't execute your pitch, or is he hitting the pitches that you're trying to execute? And then you adjust your game plan accordingly. If you're making your pitches and he's still hitting them, then it's time to try something different. If you're missing your spots, not putting the ball where you want it, then you just need to focus a little more on executing each pitch one at a time.
Well, the other thing is Ryan Braun probably does this against a lot of guys.
Oh, yeah.
He's a career .312 hitter.
I was coaching for the San Francisco Giants. We had a starting pitcher on the staff who had given up gaudy numbers to John Kruk, who played first base for the Padres at the time. And in the advance meeting, as we were going through the players on the Padres roster, we got to John Kruk, and he said, "Oh, I'm going to pitch him the same way I always do." Well, wait a minute. Guy's hitting .790 against you. Maybe we ought to try something different.
Swing and a miss.
And maybe something different worked for Randy Wells that time against Ryan Braun. Real good straight changeup. Our Corona Extra pitch tracks. That's been a great pitch for Randy Wells in his recent surge of success. Something to get those hitters off of the fastball, gets them out in front just a little bit with some good sinking action.
Prince Fielder with Morgan at first. 2 outs. Ball 1. And the Brewers play, so does Prince Fielder. 155th game. He's played them all. Cued foul on the ground, past third.
Another good pitching matchup tonight, Len. Out on the West Coast, the Giants and the Dodgers hooking up at Dodger Stadium. Tim Lincecum against Clayton Kershaw, who's going for victory number 20 on the season. Giants are still hanging around in that National League wild card race.
The game doesn't mean much, but second of a day nighter. Cliff Lee pitching tonight. 7-0 over his last 9 starts with an ERA of 1 as he trails the Nationals in the 5th. There's the Lincecum Kershaw matchup. Outside. Nationals won earlier today 4-3. They got a run in the 10th to win it. Another day nighter. Cleveland beat the White Sox 4-3 in Cleveland earlier this afternoon. They're playing game 2 right now. And the Indians lead that one 2-0 in the bottom of the 4th. Ground ball to Darwin Barney out in shallow right, and that's the inning. A 1-out walk, but no runs. Here come the Cubs on offense against right-hander Sean Markham. 4 hits over the next 2 days to get to 200 while at home. Darwin Barney, Aramis Ramirez, Carlos Pena, and Brian LaHera. That's a pretty good 4-5 punch with Alfonso Soriano in left, Marlon Byrd in center, and Giovanni Soto 5 knocked in last night. He'll bat in front of Randy Wells.
Quick look at the Brewers defensively tonight. Ryan Braun in left, NYJER Morgan in center, Corey Hart over in right field. It'll be McGee and Betancourt at shortstop. Ricky Weeks at second. Big Prince Fielder at first. Jonathan Lucroy doing the catching again tonight for right-hander Sean Markham. He's been a real nice addition to this Brewers pitching staff, even though he is running out of gas a little bit here at the end of the season. Fastball, changeup, slider, cutter, and a curveball. Really likes to throw that changeup, especially to the left-handed hitters.
The second time he's ever faced the Cubs. Beat them in Milwaukee on July 28. 6 innings, 7 hits, 2 runs, and a blooper that will be caught by Morgan after he slipped, but had time to recover. Cubs like to hit fastballs, but they're just not going to see a lot of them tonight, are they?
At least not where they can get a bat on them. Now, granted, Sean Markham could make some mistakes in the middle of the plate and give the Cubs an opportunity to do some damage, but if he's on top of his game, he'll move his fastball in and out, up and down, try to keep it out of the middle of the plate, and when he needs to throw a strike, he'll go to the cutter or the straight changeup.
He is one of the slowest fastballs in baseball. He, on average, according to Fangraphs, doesn't even get it up to 87 miles an hour as Casey McGee with an error, and Darwin Barney will slide in safely at second. Oh, they're calling it a double. Okay. Thank you very much.
Oh, man. Christmas came early for Darwin Barney. Casey McGee drawn in to protect against a bunt. And gets caught in between. Looked like the ball may have hit the cut of the grass right there in front of him. Got by all the way down into the left field corner for Ryan Braun. And well, what we're calling a double for the time being puts Darwin Barney in scoring position for Aramis Ramirez.
Takes a cutter outside for ball 1. 1 for 4 last night. Swing and a miss. Comes in ranked 6th in the NL at 308. Is this his final homestand as a Chicago Cub? We won't know the definitive answer until the offseason. Carlos Pena on deck. And the pitch up in the air, right center, and Morgan will take it. Barney's going to have to hold. 2 down. Follow all of tonight's stats and info in real time with Cubs in-game live only at CSNChicago.com. Brought to you by Honda. So what is it? Can you put it into words what it is about the floppy hat? You're just drawn to it. There's just something about it.
It just has very little structure. It's just kind of hang loose, you know. You can tip it forward, you can flip up the bill, look like Gilligan. You can hang fishing lures from the edge of it.
It's got everything you need, right?
Absolutely. Covers the top of your ears so you don't get sunburned when you're out on the boat.
Well, the floppy disc is obsolete, but not the floppy hat.
No, floppy hat will live forever. You get creative, especially on these double-sided floppy hats. You know, blue on one side, red on the other. You can make a fashion statement.
2 bouncer to Ricky Weeks, and that'll be the inning.
Not to mention the fact they're free.
Yeah, that doesn't hurt.
It's for free, it's for me.
Wait a minute. Was that a giveaway?
Tony Campaign at first got back safely ahead of the tag from Prince Fielder. But then when he tried to go the other direction, well, wait a minute, he is safe. But he was called out by CB Buckner. We're going to call that the CB factor. He usually blows one routine call per game, and that happened to be it. Freeze Cam brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer.
Here's Ricky Weeks. First pitch swinging. Played his first full game last night since coming back from the ankle injury, and he flies out to Brian LaHare. Bring up Casey McGee. Snapped an 0 for last night with a home run in the 9th inning off Carlos Marmol. Still just 4 for his last 41. Snapped an 0 for 19 with that homer. And it takes a sinker for a strike.
That's a good jump ahead fastball for a strike right there. When the first batter's retired on one pitch, it's conventional wisdom that next hitter needs to take until he gets a strike. Andy Wells fully aware of that, just pumped an 88-mile-an-hour fastball right down the middle of the plate to jump ahead in the sequence.
He has 13 home runs this season. They've all been against righties. LaHare gets another chance. No problem.
Don't miss out on your last chance to catch baseball at Wrigley Field for the 2011 season. Great seats are still available, including bleachers. To purchase tickets, visit Cubs.com, call 1-800-THE-CUBS, or visit the Wrigley Field box office.
We'll bring up the shortstop, Betancourt, who didn't play last night. Jerry Hairston Jr. did, and homered in 3 at-bats, 1 for 3. And a good matchup tonight on paper for Betancourt. 4 for 6 against Randy Wells. Came over with Zach Greinke from the Royals in the offseason. He pops it up. Who wants it? It'll be Carlos Pena, and a 7-pitch second inning for Wells. We head to the bottom of the inning. Brian LaHair will lead it off when we come back. Net Central coming up tonight after post-game live. Who will emerge as the backup goalie to Corey Crawford of the Blackhawks? Plus a full Major League recap. Join Luke and Mark for GMC Sportsnet Central tonight after post-game live only on Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend. Couple of big birthday wishes tonight as Brian LaHair digs in. Happy 90th to Bud Oswald. Lifelong Cub fan, a World War II bomber pilot, never misses a game. Now we want to send out very special happy birthday wishes to Bud Oswald.
Absolutely. Also Phil Horn. I announced his birthday last night. I was off by a day. Phil Horn celebrating a birthday. Big time Cubs fan. Hope you're having a great day, Phil.
And Rudy Jaramillo, the Cubs hitting coach, turning 61. Happy birthday to Rudy. See, this is where we're supposed to cue Rod Stewart's Forever Young underneath. We're talking about Rudy. The 2-1 to LaHair. Swing and a miss. Good cutter. You'll probably see a lot of those from Markham to LaHair. That's where teams are trying to beat Brian LaHair, who, as we said before, was named today the Cubs Minor League Player of the Year. So the awards keep piling up. In there again, this time on a comebacker. 3-2.
Didn't quite work out for Sean Markham that time, but that's a good combination of pitches. A fastball that cuts in on the hands of the left-handed hitter and then come right back with a fastball that goes the other direction.
Swing and a miss on a changeup. And for Markham, that is his first strikeout. And we want to thank all of our wonderful crew members: Brian Unverzak, Dennis Gates, John F. Eckert, Phil Farley in the tape room. Really no tape anymore. It's all on computer. Job well done, gentlemen.
Boy, absolutely. I can't tell you how much we appreciate the efforts of all the guys that work on our crew.
This is our final home telecast here on CSN. Swing and a miss by Alfonso Soriano. Ooh, that one looked pretty tasty. He couldn't get it. Frank Leone on the soundboard.
Huh?
I'll speak up. Assisted by Doug Bullard. Frank can't hear us, of course. Frank works as hard as anybody in the business. We love working with him. And Doug, too. Outside, it's 2-2. Marlon Byrd on deck. Former Blue Jay Sean Markham dealing a fly to left. And it's Ryan Braun. TD, technical director there on the left, Joe Vinci. There's Dave Turner, our director. Bob Albrecht, our producer. And they look like they're working while they're on camera. Now Romper Room can continue.
Well, they have one of the toughest jobs in the world, our crew, to make us look and sound good on a daily basis, and that's not easy.
This one will find the seats down along the right field line. Danielle Denning on our score box, and our tech manager Mark Harper. Big swing by Byrd. 0-2. That's where all the fun happens. Mark Stensel in the background. He looks for all the funky graphics to make us look weird. And our associate producer, Tamara Anderson. So basically all the great graphics you see, that's their responsibility. As Byrd swings and misses, and that will end the inning. 2 strikeouts for Markham here in the second. The starters have been sharp early on, and so is our crew. No score. Hello, Mike. And the Bagbies in video. There's Kurt in the background and Tommy. Tommy, let's see the piercings. Come on. You need your eye pierced, partner.
Oh.
Tom's your man.
Ooh. Good think about that one.
Jonathan Lucroy takes a strike from Randy Wells.
I have a hard enough time as it is getting through airport security with an artificial left knee. I don't think I need any metal piercings.
The scene from Spinal Tap. Castro will backhand. Best Buy offers you the perfect match promise. Bring home the big TV of your dreams. Satisfaction guaranteed. Here's Markham. Numbers don't look that impressive, but his home run was a grand slam. It was off Daniel Hudson on July 4th versus Arizona. Second grand slam by Brewers pitcher. And the other guy wasn't even a Brewer. He was a Pilot, Fred Talbot. 1969 with the Seattle Pilots. That was before the DH. And that one lined into the corner and left for their first hit. Markham with a one-out double. It's a second double of the season, the third of his career.
Well, even to the opposing pitcher, when you leave a fastball up over the heart of the plate, there's a much better chance that he's going to make solid contact. Markham started the bat a little bit early that time, caught it out in front of the plate, and ends up on second base with a one-out double.
Now Hart, who's just 1 for 6 in this series, but boy, remember the series he had in Milwaukee against the Cubs in late August? Just got a piece of it on a foul tip. 7 for 10, a double, a triple, 2 homers, 3 walks, 4 RBIs, 6 runs. And the Brewers swept that series. One, two.
A couple of righties that really like to use that straight changeup. Randy Wells has had a real good one over his last 6 or 7 starts, and Sean Markham has used it extensively throughout his career.
That one hit to deep right, and Lahair's not going to get it. Markham coming around third. He will score. Hart will stop at second with an RBI double, and the Brewers lead 1-0. Back-to-back doubles.
Another pitch up from Randy Wells. Belt high up out over the plate. Corey Hart stays right on it. Had a lot of backspin on that drive to right field. Just shot over the head of Brian Lahair all the way to the ivy, scoring Markham from second base.
Morgan lines, and it glances off the glove of Castro. Hart's going to score. That's an RBI single for Morgan, 2-0.
Just enough to get it off the glove and into left field. Starlin Castro stretched fully out, just can't quite get up there high enough to make the play. In an odd kind of way, you almost hoped he didn't touch that ball. Might have given Soriano an opportunity to get to that ball a little quicker and maybe throw Corey Hart out at home plate, or maybe even throw up a stop sign on Corey Hart at third. But when Castro slowed it down, that gave Hart the opportunity to turn the corner and score.
Now the big-time RBI guys coming up. Braun and Fielder have combined to knock in 215 runs. Morgan takes off, good jump, and he's going to beat the throw, and he's going to make third on an error by Soto. I could be wrong. It seems like we've seen a lot of those this year. Not just the Cubs, but the stolen base and then the throwing error, allowing the runner to get another base.
Especially on an attempt like that where Nyjer Morgan just had a huge jump over there at first base, was going to steal that bag easily. I've said it many times, as a catcher, really your job right there is just get the ball to second base in the air. You're probably not going to have a chance to throw him out at second base, but if you get the ball down there to your middle infielder in the air, and Morgan happens to overslide the bag or do something ridiculous, then maybe you can tag him out after the fact. But when a guy gets a jump like that and you try to rush your throw, only bad things can happen. I had a veteran catcher very early on in my career, won't mention his name, taught me the value of the strategic drop behind home plate. You get some of those premier base stealers on at first, they get a walking lead and take off before your pitcher even lifts the front leg. You have no chance to throw them out. Another base hit into center field by Braun. Brewers are going to take a 3-0 lead.
It's 4 straight hits. They've all been hit hard, and Braun gets his 104th RBI. That'll bring out Mark Riggins.
Everything up just a little bit more this inning than it was in the first two. Randy Wells was pounding along at that bottom of the strike zone. First time through this Brewers order, making some mistakes this time, however, up around the belt. Putting some good swings on it.
You got to worry about Ryan Braun over there. 31 for 37 stolen base department for Ryan Braun. Two and 0. Well, he had him leaning. He has a huge lead. Talk about Tony Campana with that base stealer's lead with the right foot past the cut of the grass there.
That cut of the grass is not always an accurate gauge as to how big the lead is, but here at Wrigley Field, we know that when the base stealers get 1 foot past that cut, that's a sizable lead, and they've got a real good chance to steal a base. It's not uniform from ballpark to ballpark exactly where that cut is, so Very important that the base runners, the guys that potentially could steal a base, come out here before the game and measure their lead off.
Fastball on the outside edge, 2-1. There aren't a lot of guys who fit Ryan Braun's profile these days. I think the one that comes to mind is Matt Kemp with 34 homers and 40 steals.
Ball fouled out of play on the third base side, and most people around the game feel it's going to be between Ryan Braun and Matt Kemp for the MVP in the National League this year. Certainly the guy at the plate right now will get his share of consideration, and there are others that have had noteworthy seasons, but as you said, two guys that combine the power and the speed. You'd have to give Kemp a huge edge defensively. He plays center field and plays it extremely well, but offensively, take either one of them.
Funny thing about it is Curtis Granderson has more homers than Braun and fewer steals from the 2 spot in the Yankees order. I don't think Braun realized the ball was hit foul as he was on the move. Now he heads back to first.
Well, and no surprise that Ryan Braun and Matt Kemp are tied for first in the National League in runs scored this year.
Three and 2. Braun will no doubt be running this time. There's Weeks on deck. And Braun takes off and a ground ball to Barney. That'll keep the Brewers out of the double play.
Hey fans, the 27th annual Cubs convention will take place at the Hilton Chicago on January 13th, 14th, and 15th, 2012. Rooms are available now by calling the Hilton Chicago at 312-922-4400 and asking for the Cubs convention rate. Weekend passes will go on sale in early November. As always, for more information, visit Cubs.com.
When Weeks got hurt against the Cubs in late July, kind of derailed what was a pretty special season. His first All-Star game this year. He got the start at second base. He was in the home run derby as well. He was second in the league in runs, tied for 5th in total bases, tied for 6th in extra base hits. And then he missed 6 weeks. He's just kind of trying to get it all back now here for the stretch run. And I know they had a great record without him, but they're a better team with him in the lineup. And Ramirez can't get it, and they're going to get another run. Braun scores 4-0. It's an RBI single for Weeks. I was just going to say before he swung at that pitch, you could argue that he hits the ball harder than anybody in the league when he makes solid contact.
Well, if you watch him take batting practice, it'll hurt your ears. He does make solid contact. Ramirez once again leaving his feet on a ball he probably did not have to. Hit off the thumb of his glove, skipped into left field for an RBI single.
Low on a slider to McGee. He's the 8th Brewer to bat in this inning. Braves got 3 in the 2nd in Florida. One of those, an Alex Gonzalez home run, is 15. It's 3-0 in the top of the 6th. Randall Delgado still on the mound for the Braves. Anibal Sanchez taken out after 5. Ground ball up the middle. Castro to Barney to end the inning. They get 4 runs on 5 hits, 1 left, and it's 4-0 Milwaukee. Sportsnet. Tribune writers, sports stars, and celebrities join host David Kaplan to discuss the day's hottest sports topics and set the table for the night ahead. Chicago Tribune Live, presented by Captain Morgan, weeknights at 5:30 on Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend. Great to see Kian Dolit-Shahi. Works with our CSN crew. Here is a fan. Here with Katie and Dan Solomon. And Katie and Dan, by the way, Bob, were married 1 month ago.
Yeah, very nice.
And they're still married.
Well, you know why.
Soto lifts high in the air to left because Dan mastered.
Yes, dear. You're right. I'm sorry.
That's right. We have to revisit Giovanni Soto's night last night. He knocked in all 5 of the Cubs' runs. He's the 11th Cub since 1920 to drive in all the team's runs in which the Cubs scored at least 5 times. The last Cub to do it, ARAMIS Ramirez, drove in 5 in a 5-4 win at Cincinnati in 2004. Soto's the first Cub to do it at home since Vance Law knocked in 5 versus Montreal in 1988. Wells floats one out into left center. So the starting pitchers are a combined 2 for 2. Well, let's see. Markham doubled with 1 out in the top of the inning, and they scored 4 times. Let's see what happens here. Need Castro to heat up here. He's going to get to 200 hits, but you'd love to see him do it by tomorrow. He's just 3 for 16 on this homestand. I wish I could remember the exact conversation. I'm paraphrasing a little bit, but at one point earlier this season, Randy Wells, the former catcher, as Castro short hops one to McGee, and we'll have to get into this in the next half inning. They go 5-4-3 on the double play. Markham with a shutdown, bottom of the third, 4-zip Brewers. From Taco Bell, open 1 a.m. or later. The Menards grounds crew in action before the game tonight. They get the batters boxes all perfectly done and spotlessly manicured, only to have the batters pretty much erase them within the first 2 innings.
Especially that catcher umpire box behind home plate. Technically, it doesn't really have to be there, and usually it's gone before the first pitch of the game. But boy, does it look good for a couple of minutes when those guys get done.
Slider and a swing and a miss by Betancourt. Bounded foul. So Randy Wells goes up to his manager and says, "What would it take for you to allow me to catch in a big league game?" And Q was like, "Really? We have to do this?" He said, "Yeah, I want to know." I said, "Okay." Final game of the season. We have to win to make the playoffs. We're in the 20th inning. I've run out of position players, and you're the last guy available. I'd put you behind the plate." And Randy says, "Really, you would?"
So you mean I have a chance?
He got all excited. Like the least likely possibility that he liked to hear that he has a chance to catch at some point. I mean, honestly, once you get past the 3 guys on the current roster, your best bets would be Wells or Marmol because they've done it before, but you can't do it because they're pitchers. Betancourt strikes out.
Well, I think Randy Wells and Carlos Marmol both caught enough at the minor league level to know that there's a certain amount of paying dues as you get a look at that last slider from Randy Wells on our Corona Extra pitch tracks. I mean, most catchers have to catch side sessions early in the day. You've got to warm up relievers in the bullpen from time to time. Got to block balls in the dirt early in the afternoon to keep your skills sharp, throw to the bases, do all the things you have to do to stay sharp as a regular catcher. And to have a guy come off the mound and strap on the gear and go behind the plate, that doesn't seem fair.
But why is it that pitchers have to be surrounded by some sort of hermetically sealed material throughout the season? Whereas the grinders like Reed Johnson, it's just like, yeah, go do it.
Yeah, go put the gear on.
Right.
I think it would kind of be interesting, you know. It's never going to happen, but if a team is way out of the race, yeah, let the pitchers go behind the plate for a day. Let the catcher pitch. See how you like it when I bounce those sliders in the dirt.
Shake you off.
Yeah.
6 times.
Oh, yeah. No. Wrong pitch. Wrong pitch.
Foul tip, strike 3.
A little extra velocity on that one. Our Corona Extra pitch track shows a 91-mile-per-hour fastball, pretty much right in the heart of the plate. Just blew it right past Jonathan Lucroy. Randy usually pitches in the high 80s. Occasionally he'll touch 90, but seems like occasionally when he gets a little aggravated with himself, he can reach back and put another mile per hour or 2 on that fastball.
Markham started the 4-run rally with a 1-out double in the 3rd. (20, 40, 60, 80 hike).
Easy to add those up.
Pena will not have a play.
Well, last night the conditions here were as sterile as you will ever see at Wrigley Field. Not a wisp of wind. But tonight, with that wind blowing from right toward left field, kind of pushed that ball back a little closer to the barrier. Looked like Pena may have had a chance, but just not quite enough.
Markham's from Kansas City. Chiefs season ticket holder. Ooh, been a rough start for the Chiefs. Inside, and it grazed him on an 0-2 pitch. Sneak in our AT&T trivia question here with 2 outs. Gale Sayers is going to sing the stretch tonight. How many of his 6 touchdowns on December 12th of 1965 here at Wrigley were rushing touchdowns? Well, the answer coming up. Fouled away by Corey Hart. He gave the Brewers the lead with an RBI double in the 3rd. Slider low. Talking to some people who have been following the Brewers all season, kind of the external view, and I would be a part of this, is that they're in fine shape. I mean, their magic number's 4. They have a 5.5 game lead with only 8 games to go. That's hit very hard to center. Bird will make the catch on the move. However, they haven't clinched anything yet. So I think internally they'd like to get this thing over with as quickly as possible. That was a great catch by Marlon Byrd on a ball that really took off on him. It's still 4-0 Milwaukee. Rushing variety. One was a screen pass, the other was a punt return. Multi-dimensional Gale Sayers. So the Cubs try to get on the board here against Sean Markham. They'll have 2, 3, and 4 coming up. Barney, Ramirez, and Pena. When you look at the Brewers roster, Bob, and you try to figure out pieces fitting together and chemistry and all this stuff, I think mostly, and the Brewers are a good example of just collecting a lot of talent. Okay, what did they add? They added Zach Greinke and Sean Markham to the rotation. That's going to get in for Darwin Barney. He has himself 2 doubles in this game. They already had Giovanni Gallardo and Randy Wolf. Chris Narvison's been decent, so you got a very solid rotation. John Axford's done a nice job as a closer. Well, they added Francisco Rodriguez. K-Rod to the mix. Got some other good veterans like LaTroy Hawkins in their pen. You got 2 superstars in Fielder and Braun. I think the Morgan addition was good. They have a lot of talent. And you can say the pieces fit together well. I just think they have really good individual players. You add it all up and they've won 90 games. I don't think there's a big secret per se. Doug Melvin's done a nice job acquiring players. Barney now at third with 1 out.
And when you do have a lot of guys, you're not so overly dependent on your superstars to carry the load every day. Now, Ryan Braun and Prince Fielder have done that pretty much all season long, but as you mentioned earlier, Corey Hart has had stretches of the season where he's carried the team offensively. Casey McGee, even though he's in a horrible slump right now, he was a big part of their offense last season. Ricky Weeks, when healthy, has been a big part of their offense. So they kind of spread the wealth around. They can beat you in a lot of different ways with a lot of different people.
Well, and two guys who are pretty much slump proof, which helps a lot. And then, as you say, Corey Hart will get hot for a couple weeks, then it'll be McGee, then it'll be Weeks, then it'll be Batencourt, sorry. George Kataris hit for the cycle recently, backup catcher.
I think there is a weakness, and it's not a glaring weakness with the Brewers. Defensively, they're fourth from the bottom in the National League. They've made 105 errors this year. A lot of those from their shortstop, which is to be expected because you handle the ball so much. But surprisingly, Prince Fielder's made 17 errors this year. That's rather 14 errors, an extraordinarily high number of errors for a first baseman. But I think it also speaks to how involved he is in the defense. We've talked about how he plays so far off the first base line. Sacrifice bunt situations. He's not content just to take the easy out at first. They go for the lead runner quite a bit. And when you do that, you're going to make some mistakes of aggression defensively.
3-0 on Pena with LaHair on deck. Now 3-1. Pulled the fielder. 2 outs. Barney has to remain at third.
Apple Vacations and the Chicago Cubs are taking a trip to the Dominican Republic, and you can join. Stay 7 nights at Iberostar Hacienda Dominicus with your favorite Chicago Cubs players, including Zonk, Keith Moreland. Go to applevacations.com/Cubs to learn more about this exclusive trip.
Now LaHair. Well, it's easy to say, you know, when you just match up the starting pitchers, if the Brewers do play the Phillies in the playoffs. The Brewers, again, are very solid, really 1 through 5, and arguably have 3, quote, aces. But they don't quite match up to the Phillies in terms of quality. But then again, who does? Yeah. And so I think their hope is that, you know, a Gallardo or a Markham or a Greinke, that they're good, you know, 6-7 innings, 2-3 runs, and that their offense is good enough to maybe get to a Cliff Lee or a Roy Halladay for a couple of runs, and then you get into the bullpen and they would feel very comfortable with what they have to throw at you. Because as you know, the playoffs are all about hitting good / great pitching. You're not going to see a lot of bad pitching once you get to October.
Taking advantage of opportunities when they present themselves. Well, one thing we know for sure, Len, going to be no surprises in the postseason. We've seen it in the lunchroom up here at Wrigley. There are advanced scouts from every potential playoff team here in attendance tonight, watching the Brewers closely, looking for any flaws, any weaknesses whatsoever that their teams might be able to exploit should they hook up with the Brewers in a few weeks. So that was quite a learning experience as a player the first time we made the postseason. You go through your advance reports during the regular season, and especially when it's a team that maybe you've played recently, it's usually a pretty brief meeting. Just kind of a review of the strengths and weaknesses of the opposing pitchers and hitters. And then you go out and go to battle. Boy, I'll tell you, in the postseason, those advance meetings can go on for hours sometimes.
Markham escapes. The Cubs had a runner at third with only one out, but could not get a run across. Still 4-0 after 4. The Cardinals of all teams, look who made the catch, Jim Edmonds in center, and the celebration was on. One of the best regular seasons the Cubs have ever had. Fortunately, they would get swept by the Dodgers in the first round, but it didn't take anything away from that festive Saturday afternoon.
Boy, nothing like a celebration for the Cubs and their fans. Whoa, what a great time that was. Seems like a long time ago now.
Want to get back to that point and beyond as quickly as possible. Morgan shoots one out in the right center. He's been on base all 3 times. Text footlong to 29653. If you are the 500th texter, you could win $5 footlong subs from Subway. Trying to think of who NYJER Morgan reminds me of, and I thought of who he reminds me of. It's not a baseball player. He's a former Blackhawk, but he really made his name with the Calgary Flames. Theo Fleury. He was the little guy who would jab his stick into the midsection of one of the heavyweights and say, "Come on, let's drop him." He wasn't afraid of anybody. He got under the skin of opponents. He was a pesky hockey player, and NYJER Morgan, a former hockey player, he plays that way on the baseball field. Not afraid to get into it with the fans and opposing ballparks.
Teammates.
It's just the way he is.
One major difference is the fact that NYJER Morgan appears to have all his teeth.
Well, we think he does.
We think he does.
Yeah. As BRAUN swings and misses. Well, Morgan has put together a heck of a year. He's hitting over 300. As we said, he's been on all 3 times tonight. He talks a lot about entertaining as a baseball player. And he's going to make second on a wild pitch.
Well, he's really flourished here in Milwaukee. Not that past teams that he played for tried to hold him down, but sometimes his antics rubbed people the wrong way on his own team. Certainly rubbed opponents the wrong way, but this is a very loosey-goosey group here, Milwaukee Brewers, and Morgan fit right in from day one.
Everybody talked about the Giants last year. Maybe they're this year's Giants in that regard. Although I haven't heard of any Brewer wearing a rally thong like Aubrey Huff did, but
don't want to know.
Oh, that hit the umpire, I think. Jerry Meals. 2 wild pitches, and Morgan now at third with nobody out.
That was the wildest of wild pitches that time. That ball might have hit on the infield grass. It was so far out in front of home plate. Got Jerry Meals on the right shoulder. Fortunately, he's got some padding in that area, but it hit so far out in front of home plate it bounced right over Giovanni Soto as he dropped into a blocking position.
Line and caught by Ramirez. And Braun just angrily flips his bat up in the air. He hit that ball as hard as you can hit it. And he almost took Ramirez and his glove into left field. Watch where he catches this ball.
It looks like he caught it behind him. Now that ball was almost past him. Pulled that left arm way back there. That was a rocket. Boy, even with Soriano playing Ryan Braun to pull, that ball might have still reached the corner in left field. It was hit so hard.
They will intentionally walk Fielder to get to Weeks with a double play opportunity. This will be the 31st intentional walk leading the league for Fielder. Ortiz up in the bullpen.
And you talked about it earlier. Ricky Weeks kind of still playing his way back into game shape after that horrible ankle injury. And Casey McGee has struggled offensively here in the second half of the season. I think that could be a big factor in the postseason. If you can take the bat out of Prince Fielder's hands and not allow him to do the things that he does so well, it's going to put a lot of pressure on the next guy or two in this Brewers lineup. You see already 31 intentional walks this season, leading the National League.
The Mets grabbed an early 4-0 lead at St. Louis, but the Cardinals with 3 in the bottom of the third. It's 4-3 Mets as they now play the top of the fourth. Hey, guess who's at 300? He's been there for a few days. Albert Pujols.
Yeah.
Went the first 5.5 months under 300. But he's there, and he's probably going to do the 330 homers, 100 RBIs for the 11th straight time. Big night for Angel Pagan. Cardinals are hoping the Marlins can stage a late comeback, trailing 4-0 in the bottom of the 7th to the Braves. Orioles took a short-lived 5-0 lead. 4-0, 4-1. Oh gosh. Before the Red Sox scored 2 in the third, 2 in the fourth, so it's 5-4 Red Sox. Forget everything I just said.
Yeah, a lot of numbers there.
Adrian Gonzalez with his 27th homer. Can't add for some reason. That was almost the third wild pitch of the inning. And 3-2 on Weeks.
Well, not sure whether it's a physical issue with Randy Wells or he's just trying to be too fine with some of his pitches, but he is really making Giovanni Soto work this inning, bouncing pitches all over the place in front of home plate.
See, Fielder goes on this 3-2. Tampa Bay trailing at the Yankees 5-0 in the bottom of the 6th. Ivan Nova's been excellent. 6 innings, 5 hits, no runs. Fielder not running, and it's hit foul. Curtis Granderson has 4 RBIs tonight to give him 119 on the year.
I think he had about a 19 or a 20 run lead for the American League lead as well.
Oh yeah, over 130. Bounce to Ramirez or to back up. They will get one. Relay throw late. Weeks will get his second RBI of the night on a fielder's choice, and it's 5-0. Once Ramirez had to back up, that pretty much ended any chance at a double play.
It just takes that extra second to get rid of the ball to Darwin Barney, which gives Prince Fielder an extra second to get on the bag down there at second and disrupt that double play. And with Ricky Weeks' speed, they just had no opportunity to turn it.
High in the air, fairly well hit by McGee, but playable for LaHare. And that'll end the inning. A single, 2 wild pitches, and eventually a fielder's choice RBI. 5-0 Milwaukee. Cubs haven't done much against Sean Markham. Their best chance came in the 4th. Leadoff double by Darwin Barney. Got to 3rd with 1 out, but he did not get a run. Alfonso Soriano The 81 RBIs, the most he's had as a Cub, this being his 5th season with the Northsiders. Curveball at 65 miles an hour. A 1-0 win for the Diamondbacks last night. Ian Kennedy, the first National Leaguer to 20 wins. Diamondbacks magic number down to 4. Tonight it'll be Daniel Hudson for the D-backs, Charlie Morton for the Pirates in the Valley. Broken bat, one hopper to Betancourt, and he will throw to Fielder for the out.
Daniel Hudson looking for his 17th victory in that game for the Diamondbacks tonight. I don't think they get the kind of credit they deserve. That's pretty strong top of the rotation.
Magic number time. Brewers at 4. Phillies have not only clinched their division but home field throughout the playoffs.
There's always that argument every year. Is it better to clinch early and rest some of your players maybe that have been grinding all summer long, or some guys that have little nagging injuries, you give them some time off before the playoffs? Or is it better off to maintain your edge and play meaningful games right down to the wire and carry that momentum into the postseason? I think in the Phillies case, doesn't make any difference.
Yeah, I don't know if in general it does. I think you would always rather clinch as early as possible. Bird fans. It's 4 for Markham. Lahair twice and Bird twice. I think the bigger problem is not the end of the regular season, because you still have games to play. It's between rounds in the playoffs, and I think they've tried to alleviate some of that, but there have been times in the past where a team has clinched the pennant and has had to wait a week plus to start the World Series. And when you go to spring training in mid-February, you're working every single day. Once spring training starts, the games, it's like 6.5 months of, at most, 3 days off for the All-Star break, and then before the biggest games of your season, you take a week off. That's too much.
Yeah, that is way too much. And you try to simulate game action as best you can. It's happened in the past where organizations that find themselves in that situation maybe call up a couple of minor league pitchers, or bring a couple of minor league pitchers to throw live BP. And a boot by Casey McGee down there at third base, allowing Giovanni Soto to reach with 2 outs.
It's the first error charged to McGee, and probably the second he's made, is when Barney was credited with a double earlier. This one was a much easier play.
Just hit him in a bad spot in the glove. If it gets up near that heel of the glove, near the wrist area, it's very stiff right there, not as soft as the pocket of the glove or even the fingers of the glove.
Tyler Colvin hasn't had many at bats here lately. Will pinch hit for Randy Wells.
Now that dreaded simulated game, trying to keep your boys sharp with a big series upcoming, but no matter how you try to dress it up or disguise it, it's still glorified batting practice against live pitching.
changeup dips low and outside. 1-1 to Colvin.
Boy, when you had at bats so infrequently as Tyler Colvin has over the last couple 3 weeks, you'd much prefer to go up to the plate and face somebody who's throwing hard. Somebody that throws 93, 94. They use their fastball a lot. You're pretty sure you're going to get something to hit every at bat, as opposed to facing a crafty veteran like Sean Markham, who's going to tap dance around that strike zone. He's going to cut the fastball. He's going to sink it. He's going to change speeds. Tyler Colvin hasn't seen anything like this in a long time.
Well, it's something he has worked on, but for Colvin to kind of get to that next level, he's really got to start to drive the ball to center and left center. Generally, when he really hits a ball hard, it's to his pull field. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. 2-out error, but no runs. Markham cruising. And here comes Ramon Ortiz with the Cubs trailing 5-0.
Celebrating its 25th anniversary in 2011. Get the backstage pass to how the Cubs live and play on the field as well as off. Ball lofted into shallow right center field. Looks like Barney's going to be able to backpedal and make the play. Subscriptions for Vine Line start at just $29.95. For more information and to order, visit www.cubs.com/VineLine.
You see the numbers for Ramon Ortiz. A rough night for Randy Wells. 5 innings, 6 hits, 5 runs. Kept the ball in the ballpark, but they hit a few balls pretty hard. LUCROY 0 for 2. He's just 2 for his last 32. Matt Garza will start tomorrow, and then the off day Thursday, followed by 6 games on the last road trip. Ryan Dempster will start the first and final games of that trip, and he's closing in on 200 innings. Everybody else will get a start in the interim.
That floppy hat even goes well with a suit.
Goes well with everything. Cubs tonight, final home date, night game. Rather, tomorrow is the day game. Tonight, tomorrow will get them over 3 million in attendance for the season. It'll be their 8th consecutive season of 3 million. One-two pitch outside. 2-2. It's Markham on deck. He's reached twice on a double and a hit by pitch. In the hole, Castro sets, throws, and it's late.
I'll tell you, Len, I hate it when I hear this, but I'm going to say it anyway. LUCROY runs well for a catcher.
Yeah, I was just going to say it.
Puts that ball in the hole to Starlin. Castro does everything he can possibly do to get the ball across the diamond in time, but LUCROY was really motoring down that first baseline, able to leg it out for an infield hit.
Bunted foul, hit the lip of the grass, kicked into foul territory.
Hey, Len, want to say hello and welcome home to my son Michael and his beautiful fiance Alyssa Katz. Drove from Rochester, New York here to Chicago today to get some things in place, and then they'll head back to Rochester for their wedding on October 8th, and after the honeymoon they're going to make their home right here in Chicago, which should be interesting because Michael's only ever lived in California and Arizona.
It's great to have him here, I'm sure, as Ortiz throws out Markham. Markham's had a very productive night at the plate. So you ready for another wedding?
Always, yeah. Don't get to dance as much as I used to, so I look forward to weddings.
Is there going to be YouTube video of you dancing?
I certainly hope not. I don't want to be inhibited at all by cameras. I just want to get out there and cut a rug and let it fly. I've never been to Rochester, New York. Really looking forward to it.
I heard they have great golf courses there. Castro will get Corey Hart, and that ends the inning. Go to the bottom of the 6th. All Milwaukee tonight, 5-0.
member of the Cubs Kids Club, and they'll receive kid-specific perks, experiences, and merchandise throughout the 2011 baseball season. Visit Cubs.com to sign up today.
What a beautiful night here at Wrigley Field. Unfortunately, the scoreboard hasn't cooperated to this point. It's 5-0 Brewers as STARLIN CASTRO still looking for his first hit tonight. And trying to keep his on-base streak alive. Right now it's at 32 games. One ball, one strike.
To say hello to Jay Nafsker, big Cubs fan. Happened to be up at Miller Park on the day they were giving out the Craig Counsell bobblehead dolls, and he said he knows how much I.
It's hit well by Castro, and Morgan won't have a play. It's gone. A fan touched it over the basket as he inches his way to 200 hits. It's number 197. And he's in double digits. That's his 10th homer.
Nice. Well, we started the season talking about STARLIN CASTRO as a potential 15 to 20 home run hitter at some point in his career. Our HP home run replay, number 10. For the kid, into the basket in left center field.
33 game on base streak. 3 hits away now. The Cubs finally dent that scoreboard 5-1.
The wind still continues to blow out to left field, not nearly as hard as it was earlier in the ball game, but may have been just enough of a boost on that fly ball by STARLIN CASTRO to get it up into the basket.
First home run given up by Markham as he fans Barney for a 6th strikeout.
Happy 73rd birthday to Al Roslin from Algonquin, big time Cubs fan. Hope you're having a great day, Al.
Ramirez actually knocks down Betancourt, and he gets up and throws him out. Got back on his heels a little bit as that ball was struck well. Literally fell down, but got up and made the play.
Well, we've talked all the time about an infielder getting knocked down by a ground ball. This time it was literal. He ends up on the seat of his pants, but is able to quickly get to his feet and fire across the diamond in time to get Ramirez.
Fly ball, shallow left center. Ryan Braun to end the inning. Castro led off the frame with his 10th homer of the season, his 197th hit of the year, and it's now 5-1 Brewers. Blake DeWitt is in the game at third base. Makes you wonder if Ramirez is hurt. Aramis 0 for 3 tonight. Tease to Morgan, strike one. Bears legend Gale Sayers coming up with the 7th inning stretch. Popped into center. And for the first time tonight, Morgan retired.
Ramirez with that hard ground ball to short that knocked the Brewers shortstop down. You can see him kind of laboring down that first baseline. Grimace on his face there as he crossed the bag at first, not sure what the injury was or the extent of it.
It doesn't really matter, but the Nationals swept the Phillies in a day-nighter today, 4-3 and 3-0. So Cliff Lee's winning streak ends. He gave up 11 hits in 7 innings. Dropped a decision to Ross Detweiler. Rookie John Gobb is up. Bird will get another chance, going back this time. Here comes Fielder. Mentioned Matt Garza will pitch tomorrow. Randy Wolf looking for his 14th win. Will go for the Brewers. Garza needs to win his final 2 starts to finish at 500. 8-10 with a 3.51. Here's a 2-1 to Fielder. That one caught the outside corner. A couple of pitcher strikes.
That's a good place to stay on Prince Fielder. If you get it up and out over the plate, he can drive that ball to the opposite field with the best of them. You keep that ball down around that outside corner, knee level, with a little movement away from him. There's not much he can do with it. Not much anybody can do with that pitch.
In the dirt, Weeks on deck, 3-2 to Fielder. Ball 4 to keep the inning alive. Watch Comcast Sportsnet game replays on demand with Xfinity TV from Comcast. Don't miss the action. Call 1-800-XFINITY today. Fielder with 2 walks tonight has gone over 100 on the year, 101. He started the night 7 behind of Joey Votto for the NL lead. Swing and a miss. Gale Sayers with a stretch.
Thanks, guest conductor, for Take Me Out to the Ball Game. Chicago Bears Hall of Famer Gale Sayers.
Are you ready, Cub fans? A 1, a 1, a 2, a 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and cracker jacks. I don't care if I never get back. Let root for the Cubbies. If they don't win, it's a shame. Or it's 1, 2, 3 sight you out at the old ball game. Thank you. Get some runs.
Nice job with the stretch as always. And Eric, I don't know if you can get a shot of the boots in honor of your
Kansas University.
That's right. Did you have those custom made?
Yes, I did.
Yes,
I did.
Very nice. How are you, Gale?
I've been good. You know, things are going good, and I'm a little bit too busy, but I like that.
Busy's good.
Yes.
1 strike on Brian LaHare. Never gets old coming back to Wrigley Field, does it?
No, it really doesn't. And the crowd is so great. You know, they love the Bears playing in Wrigley Field, and you know, I just can't say enough for the crowd because they are a great crowd, whether it's baseball or football.
Can you believe it's been 40 years since?
No, I can't.
Bears played here.
Yeah, 40 years, and I've been out of football, I think, 43 years. You know, so it's been a long time, but you know, they still playing, you know, very, very well, and hopefully they can, you know, continue to play well. But you know, they got some problems right now that they're going to have to fix.
And the Packers coming up, right?
They're coming up, and the Packers will be the Packers. We know that. You know, and Detroit and Minnesota, they got a good team. So you know, the Bears will have to do some more things to get better because Detroit look like they're going to be a real tough football team.
One strike on Alfonso Soriano. No action in the Brewers bullpen right now. This is Sean Markham's game. Swing and a miss. We've talked about this before, but tell us about the Gale Sayers Center.
Yeah, it's an after-school program for kids 8 to 16, and we have public speaking things and computer learning. And the thing about our center is that the public speaking is the main thing that we try to impress on the families of these kids, because you need to know how to speak right when you go in and try to find a job. And so this is what we're trying to do. And computers, you got to be computer literate in today's market.
No question. How many kids in a year will you have?
We have probably about 150.
Oh, great.
And we have a banquet tomorrow. On Saturday at White Eagle, and so if you want tickets for that, it's www.galesayerscenter.org.
This will be the 4th annual event, and it's this Saturday night, correct?
Yes.
An evening with the stars.
Yes.
Mike Wilbon will be there.
Yes,
and,
he will. And
Richard Dent,
Paul
Munoz,
Warfield, Willie Davis, Sam Jones.
Man, those are some heavy hitters.
Yeah. Woo! Good football players. And they're all in Hall of Fame.
Marlon Byrd with 2 outs. Milwaukee leading 5-1. Now, the one thing you probably don't miss about this place would be the small locker room, right?
Well, it was small, no question about it. But now they got a better locker room at Soldier Field. But we came to play. The locker room was very, very small, but the field was still 50 yards wide, 100 yards long. Exactly. That's all we cared about.
Yep. Do you have another place on the road that you really enjoyed playing? Any particular stadium?
Well,
did it matter to you?
It did not matter, because I really enjoyed playing the game. And as I said, every field is the same size, and so when I go to Green Bay, they would boo us. Go to Detroit, they would boo us. Go to Minnesota, they would boo us. So they are all the same. That's right.
Still the youngest Hall of Famer in the Pro Football Hall of Fame, Gale Sayers. Thanks for stopping by as always.
Much. I appreciate it.
You got it.
Thank you.
5-1 Milwaukee, and hard throwing Andrew Kashner will take over on the mound. We have an update on ARAMIS Ramirez day to day now with a mild right quad strain. And we're only about a week away from the end of the season, so we got a day game tomorrow. If you give him that day off day Thursday, and maybe he'll be ready to go Friday night.
Well, at the tail end of a lost season, Andrew Cashner, this is Game 7 of the World Series for him. He missed almost the entire year, worked extremely hard in his rehabilitation to get himself back into pitching shape, and every opportunity he gets to go out to that mound over this last couple weeks, I'm sure he's approaching it as if everything in the world is on the line.
Good job by Ramon Ortiz, 2 scoreless innings. Another big crowd tonight, 36,571. Again, tomorrow the Cubs will officially go over 3 million in attendance. High chopper to Blake DeWitt.
Now you have even more opportunities to visit the friendly confines. The Wrigley Field tour schedule has recently been extended to include more dates in September and October. Guided tours may include visits to the press box, clubhouses, dugouts, and even a chance to step on the field. For the entire fall schedule or to purchase tickets, call 1-800-THE-CUBS or visit Cubs.com.
Well, Betancourt took 1 pitch, but not 2 in a row. He grounds out to DeWitt. And he is one of the most aggressive hitters you'll see.
I heard a manager refer to it one time in an advance meeting. The guy likes to get his at bat over with quickly. It certainly applies to the Brewers shortstop. We just love to see that easy gas from Andrew Cashner. We talked about it last season throughout spring training and in his first start of the year before the injury. It seems effortless. That ball just explodes out of his hand. Good to see that fastball back again.
Slider misses 2-1 on LUCROY. Markham on deck. Still no action in the Milwaukee pen. You see the Cardinals and Mets are tied. Cardinals cannot, however, pick up ground on the Braves. They beat the Marlins 4-0. Martin Prado went 3 for 5. Freddie Freeman and Alex Gonzalez each with home runs. Freeman with his 20th. Ball 4, and here comes Markham. Grounds crew along with Jim Belushi will conduct the stretch on the field tomorrow, as they always do for the final regular season home game.
Well, we'd love to have them up here in the booth, but I don't think we can fit all, 40 or 50 of them up here at the same time. Be fun to try, though.
I was trying to think the most we've had in here for the stretch. I want to say it was Drew Barrymore and the roller derby girls.
You could be right.
There had to be 10 to 15 of them in here. We didn't mind.
No.
Markham breaks his bat as he flies out to Marlon Byrd. A walk, no runs. Bottom of the 8th, time running short for the Cubs, trailing 5-1. Still looks strong as he works here in the bottom of the 8th. He'll face Soto, pinch hitter Reed Johnson, and Castro. Hey, I want to mention, pretty cool coming up. The Cubs are going to celebrate the 25th anniversary of Ferris Bueller's Day Off with a big movie night here at Wrigley Field, Saturday, October 1st. And tickets are available. You can get a bleacher seat for $10. You can get an outfield lawn seat for $25 as Soto skies pretty deep to left. Still going back is Braun and reaching for that ivy as he makes the catch on the warning track. One away. They've got VIP outfield lawn seats available with access to a 2-hour VIP pre-party. Gates will open at 5:30. The movie starts at 7:30 on October 1st. You can go to Groupon.com/Chicago. And also Cubs.com. You can go to the Wrigley Field box office tomorrow to buy tickets in person. That'll be fun.
Hey, bada swinga.
Rooney. Ferris Bueller's Day Off here at Wrigley.
That's a classic. Did that house ever sell? Wasn't it
I believe it was Highland Park.
Yeah.
I would hope it did.
How much did you pay for it?
I didn't buy it.
Oh.
Well, now we're hearing it apparently hasn't sold. So if you're in the market.
Yeah, there you go.
Assume they repaired the glass where the car went into the ravine. 2-2 on the pinch hitter Reed Johnson. Nice pick by former sure-handed shortstop Ivan De Jesus.
If you got it, you got it. Fielded that one cleanly. Ivan used to have a cannon back in the day. He was a strong arm shortstop.
Braun will give chase. He actually scaled the wall there, but didn't have a play. I'm wondering if a real athletic outfielder could ever climb the vines, grab the top of the basket, and steal away a home run. There's got to be somebody. I mean, Jeff Francoeur.
Well, Bo Jackson is retired, but I wouldn't put anything past him.
You got to repair your divot, though. Close. 3-2.
Good take by Reed Johnson. That's that two-seam fastball, just trying to nip the outside corner. It's been a good battle. Make it a great battle.
Deep left. Braun back on it. Off the wall. Johnson better hurry. Oh, he's out. Brian Braun played the carom perfectly and nails Reed Johnson at second, who took a risk. Not a good one, down 4, unfortunately.
Boy, just a screaming line drive off that wall in left field, and Braun, because of the way he played that ball, he was close to the wall, and then Crow hopped away from the wall as he was taking the ball. Perfect throw right on the bag to Ricky Weeks. Can't do it any better than that.
It was 7-4 to get Johnson at second. 2 outs. Here's Castro, who homered in his last at bat and is now 3 hits away from 200. Maybe he'll do it tomorrow. There are still tickets available for the Cubs hosting the Brewers. A final home game of the season. You can call 1-800-THE-CUBS. Come to the Wrigley Field box office or visit Cubs.com. You might see history tomorrow if Castro can get to 200. He'll be the youngest Cub ever to reach that milestone in a single season. And in the last 71 years, starting in 1940, only a handful of major league players have ever gotten to 200 hits in a season at 21 or younger, including Alex Rodriguez, Gary Templeton, Vada Pinson, Al Kaline. Castro missed it, but he's going to reach first. LUCROY couldn't locate the ball.
He swings at a really bad pitch over in that left-handed batter's box in the dirt, but as you said, LUCROY could not locate it immediately, and Castro starts down that first baseline. No need to turn around and look over your shoulder right there. Just keep running as hard as you can through the base. Fortunately, he was able to make it safely anyway, keeping the inning alive here for Darwin Barney.
Fielder in foul territory will make the basket catch as he cradled that ball right up against his torso. And the inning is over. We go to the ninth, still 5-1. Cubs post-game live. David Kaplan, Todd Hollinsworth will break down the game and preview the Cubs' next matchup. Don't miss Coors Light Cubs post-game live immediately following the game right here on Comcast Sportsnet, fans' best friend. Lefty John Graybo there in the ninth against Corey Hart. And that hit him. Leadoff hit by pitch.
That's one thing you're definitely concerned with at this time of year, with a postseason berth awaiting. Any kind of an injury to one of your key players this late in the regular season. That time Corey Hart takes that fastball on the back of his left calf.
Morgan airs it out to right. A little slip by LaHare, but he gets to the spot. And with the first out being recorded, Francisco Rodriguez will get up again, which would indicate to us that Markham is done. Sean Markham poised for his 50th career win, and he would tie his career high with 13 victories this season.
Pretty impressive tonight for a guy who's been struggling somewhat lately. Did not walk a batter in the game. Struck out 7, gave up only the solo home run to Starlin Castro.
This would be Randy Wells' first loss in quite a while, since the Brewers beat him on July 28th in Milwaukee. Sean Markham got the win in that game. See if they can turn it here. Nope. Barney had a little trouble with the exchange.
Braun's only grounded into 8 double plays all season. I think Darwin Barney realized he had to hurry on the pivot here and just didn't get a good grip on the baseball in the initial attempt. And by the time he recovered, re-gripped, and finally got rid of the ball, Ryan Braun had legged it out.
That's a fair ball. And Soto will throw to Pena. Bullpen doing a nice job tonight to keep the Cubs within shouting distance. They're down 4 with only 3 outs to go. He was acquired from the Mets, and he recently talked about not being happy that he hasn't gotten opportunities to close some games. John Axford's been so good, they really haven't been able to spread it around, and because he's felt like he was promised a few opportunities and hasn't gotten them, he kind of popped off in the media recently. You had that along with Prince Fielder essentially acknowledging that he's probably not going to be back, although I think the cases are pretty different. Fielder just simply answering the question and acknowledging what everybody else had, but it seems as though the Brewers have kind of put those distractions on the back burner. And I think the main reason for that is DeWitt kind of fooled Casey McGee. I don't know what happened there. Casey kind of looked like he was leaning toward going after the ball and then didn't. They've got a shift put on. I don't know if he thought Betancourt was in the area, but at any rate, it's a leadoff single.
A slashing swing on a 92-mile-an-hour heater on our Corona Extra pitch tracks. You see the little mini shift, and not sure what happened right there. Like Casey McGee initially was going to take a step and a dive and try to knock that ball down, but then it got through into left field for a base hit for Blake DeWitt.
Here's Pena with 1 on, nobody out. I think what really helped Bob is the manager handled it well. He said no big deal. He said at Fielder's case, just answered a question in terms of K-Rod. He said, hey, the guy's being honest, wants to be a closer. I understand it. We don't talk to Ron Renicky. And behind closed doors, we don't know if it upset him or not, but he was cool as a cucumber, as they say, in front of the microphones. And that usually kind of dampens the whole controversy.
For the third time in the last couple of weeks, we have an umpire with some dirt in his eye. Jerry Meals on that last foul ball off the bat of Carlos Pena. It splashed in the dirt, and some of it got up into the home plate umpire's eyes. Obviously, Ron Renicky doesn't want any kind of distractions for his ball club right now, but you're absolutely right. How you handle that situation will determine whether it's an ongoing story that takes on a life of its own, or whether it was a one-day headline that quickly goes away and you refocus on the task at hand.
I preface it by saying Ron Renicky may have said exactly what he felt, but we both know that in a lot of spots like that, a manager's job is simply to downplay the incident. You can rant and rave all you want to your coaching staff behind closed doors, or even to the player himself, and say, what in the world were you doing? But most managers will protect the player.
And in return, you expect maximum effort from your players when they put that uniform on and get out there between the white lines.
Well, what made us laugh was, as K-Rod is expressing his displeasure, he essentially is asked, have you talked to the manager? He said, no, I'm waiting for the right moment. Well, a little too late.
Maybe 10 minutes before you made those comments would have been a good time.
Yeah.
And you said it before, Len, you can certainly understand that. Francisco Rodriguez has been a really good closer throughout his career. He's a very proud man, very great competitor out there on the mound, and he wants to have a more vital role on this ball club. But the way it's configured and the way John Axford has pitched this year, you'd like to think, if you're Ron Renicky, that Francisco Rodriguez will just be the best eighth-inning man in baseball.
Well, and it also would behoove the Brewers to clinch this thing sooner than later, because I think at that point maybe you do give him a couple of chances. And then if there's an injury or if Axford struggles in October, you've got a happy Francisco Rodriguez to fill in. And I do think he added, I recall, you know, I'll do my best when I'm in there. It's not as if he threw a tantrum and said, I'm not going to pitch. He just was saying that he wants more chances like this, even though this is not a save opportunity. He strikes out Pena, but I guarantee you he's treating it as such. The other question will be, if the Cubs get another base runner, will Renicky get Axford up? Right now it's quiet in their bullpen. I will not ask you to name specifics, but I know that you had to bite your tongue a few times when you managed.
Oh, man.
And it probably felt a little icky at first, but it just comes with the territory.
For some guys, it's a little easier than others. You know, like I said, if you know you're going to get a maximum effort from that player when he steps on the field, regardless of what he says to the press or what he says publicly outside the clubhouse doors, then it's a little more palatable. But when you've got a guy who's not performing, he's being a negative influence during the course of a ball game or in the clubhouse, and he pops off, that's when it becomes really tough to do your job and stand up and try to deflect the attention away from the situation, try to defend your player to the best of your ability, when in your heart of hearts you'd like to grab him around the neck and choke him.
Throw him under the proverbial bus, so to speak. 0-2 is low. 1-2 to Brian LaHare. Wind has calmed down. Baltimore with a 3 spot in the top of the 8th has taken a 7-5 lead now into the bottom of the 9th at Fenway. So maybe a reprieve for the Rays, who lost to the Yankees 5-0. We're hoping they stay 2 back, and that would be a big missed opportunity for the Rays if the Red Sox end up losing. They could have been within 1. Seesaw battle in St. Louis. Mets now lead 6-5 with a run in the 7th. Pirates lead the Diamondbacks 2-0 in the 4th, but the Giants trail 2-0 to the Dodgers in the 2nd. Jerry Sands with a home run in that one. The Angels beat Toronto 10-6 up at Rogers Center. But Texas leading at Oakland 4-0. The Rangers 5 up on the Angels in the American League West. I think they play one another to finish the season. So that would mean the Angels need to be within 3 going into that final series starting next Monday. Three and 2. Long at bat for Brian LaHare. It will be a 3-game series in Anaheim starting next Monday. And he got him. Swing and a miss for the 2nd out.
Battle that time by LaHare. Unfortunately, K-Rod puts a 79-mile-an-hour changeup on our Corona Extra pitch tracks right there for a swinging strike 3.
DeWitt takes off for second as Soriano fouls it back. Alfonso's 0 for 10 lifetime against Rodriguez.
Really, you look up and down this Cubs roster. Darwin Barney has a hit against K-Rod. Marlon Byrd has a hit against K-Rod. And Giovanni Soto with a hit. Nobody else on the roster has broken through.
Swing and a miss, strike 3, and that does it. So a rubber game tomorrow after Milwaukee's 5-1 win here tonight. Sean Markham gets his 50th career victory, and the Cubs will wrap up the home schedule with a 1:20 start tomorrow. And really, Sean Markham was the story tonight, and he's our GMC player of the game.
Yeah, right on time if you're a Brewers fan. Sean Markham had been struggling over his last 5 starts, but One of his better outings of the year against the Cubs today. Did not walk a batter, gave up only the solo home run to Starlin Castro.
Milwaukee's magic numbers down to 3. St. Louis trailing 6-5 in the bottom of the 7th. The earliest the Brewers could clinch would be tomorrow night, as they're pulling into Milwaukee after finishing this series. They cannot clinch here at Wrigley Field tomorrow afternoon. So that'll do it for our game coverage. Stay tuned. Coors Light post-game live is coming up. Final score tonight: the Brewers 5, the Cubs 1. We're back with you to start the final road trip of the season. Friday night at 7 o'clock Central from Busch Stadium in St. Louis, the Cubs and the Cardinals. In-game scoring provided by ScorePad. Now for Bob Brenly and our wonderful Comcast Sportsnet crew here at Wrigley Field. This is Len Casper sending it over to Mark and Luke in our downtown studios.